Hello everyone. So guess what? I'm gonna make cards for you today. I know, crazy, right? I was playing with my Vicki Boutin iridescent glaze and my crayons, and I came up with that pretty background that you saw. So that background was just on cardstock. And it turned out pretty nice. That was like my experiment, and now I'm gonna show you how I did it. And yeah, it's going to be super fun. And then we're going to make some mixed media cards. I know I don't make cards usually, but actually I make cards a ton. I just don't always film my cards. So what I have here is I took some of that orange art crayon. I put it on my little picture frame here. And I want to give this card base a wash, and there's a reason for that. The reason I want to give the card base a wash is because I'm going to use some glaze over top of it on these panels, and I don't want the white cardstock to be really prominently showing through the glaze. So I decide that I'm going to do this wash. This is just really easy. It's art crayon smooshed on the glass with some water, and then I just ran a brush over it. Very simple. Now, here comes the fun part. So I'm taking these 3 colors of art crayon, and I just smush some of it down on my picture frame there. Picture glass, whatever. My glass mat. It's my glass mat. And I'm going to smush the art crayon into the iridescent glaze. And here's the fun part. So if you have this iridescent glaze, you have, and some of the art crayons, you have every color of paste you need. If you have all 3 sets of the art crayons, you can make any color paste that you want with the iridescent glaze, which I think is amazing and both economical and just cool, like easy for storage. If you watch, you know, I have like the smallest craft room ever. So the idea that I can buy 3 packs of art crayons and just keep 1 jar of pasty stuff hanging around my craft room, and I can make any color I want. Pretty awesome, right? So I'm going here and I'm just getting a palette knife and smushing this down on my card bases. Now, you can mix this as much or as little as you want. So I mixed mine up fairly well. I used 3 different colors of art crayons to get this like sherbety color, but I didn't mix it fully because I wanted these like streaky looks, and I think it created some fun texture. Super cool. I love this. You could do it through a stencil if you wanted. I really like the look of brush strokes and palette strokes and just that like really cool texture that you can get just with a palette knife. So that was what I went with. So I'm going to put all of this glaze down onto these 2 card bases, and I'm going to leave them to dry. It doesn't take super long for them to dry. They dry fairly quickly. Through the magic of YouTube, they are now dry. So now I'm showing you what we're going to work on. So this first card I kind of did off camera. Actually, I did film it, and then my iPad ran out of battery and it stopped filming it. So, not battery, ran out of space. So I had to delete some stuff and come back, and, you know, technical issues. But what I have here is I'm going to create some 3 cards on this video for you. 3 cards using mixed media, and they turn out so pretty, and I love them. So I'm going to back all of these card bases with some black fun foam, and I'm just going to attach the foam to the back of the cards. And I'm doing that first just because I'm going to end up like splattering on the cards and doing some things, and I wanted to have them all pretty much ready to go. So this first card is just a plain card. I'm going to use this circle that says thank you so much. All of the edges on all of my cards are getting some vintage photo distress ink. And all the products are from Auburn Lane, which is the collection that I'm working with from Memory Lane Scraps. And you can also get the Vicki Boutin, the iridescent glaze, and the art crayons there. And if you use my code, you can get 20% off of them, which is fabulous. So I highly recommend this product. I really do. It's amazing, and it's awesome. And I've found pasty love, because I've always had trouble with pastes. The fact that you have to buy so many colors and they come in pots and you have to keep them. And, you know, I find myself when I want to use it never having the right amount, the right color, right? So this is a really great way to keep your supplies to a minimum and still get the most bang for your buck when it comes to texture paste. Really I love it. It's super impressive. So what I'm doing here is I just punched a whole bunch of circles, placed them on my card base where I think I kind of want them, and now I'm going to embellish them with some rub-ons and some puffy stickers, and I think some stickers from the 6x12 sheet. And then I'm going to glue it all down, and that's going to be my first card. So these cards are easy. The Pink Paisley Auburn Lane has tons and tons of elements that would be perfect for card sentiments. So that was kind of where I started. And I had no intention of making mixed media cards when I started, but I needed a little bit of crafty inspiration, so I started playing with those art crayons and the iridescent paste, and that was it. Then I was like, oh, we're doing mixed media cards. Because why not? Why not? So here I am just kind of looking through the rub-ons and looking through the puffy stickers and looking through the 6x12 sticker sheet, trying to decide, you know, what colors, what things, what elements do I want to add. I'm going to add a little bit of everything, and then I'm going to glue everything down, and that's going to be this card. So super simple, but gorgeous. Christina already requested that I send this card to her. So this card's going to her because she's amazing and awesome. Right? Okay. I think I'm just looking for like any last minute little things that I want to use. I do end up moving this sticker, ever so carefully peeling it up, and then moving it up to that top, that darker square. And then I get some nice, a little bit extra contrast. I am using Scotch Quick Dry adhesive to glue all this stuff down onto the card bases because that is the best way to get your paper products or your sticker products to stick to your mixed media, is just to use some of that Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in a fine line bottle, and it works fabulously. And yeah, so that will be one card done. So the last little piece that's going to go on all of my cards, this is like my new obsession when I make a card, is that I have these stamps from Ink Road. I think they're called I Made a Thing. And I've just been stamping them on the fronts and on the backs of all of my envelopes. And I've been absolutely loving that little touch. Okay, next card. So for this card, I am using the base that I made initially, my like practice base, which turned out nice, but was a little more orange than I really wanted. But I didn't want to waste it. That's the thing. Like, I really didn't want to waste it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it up with this. I'm going to cover up this card base so that you just see little hints of that orange color that the base is. It's not really on show necessarily. It kind of just fades into the background, which is fine. So I went ahead and adhered the houses to this sheet of paper, and then I made sure that I took my finger and ran it through my glue. And so that keeps it from warping. Sometimes if you have like a blob of glue and then it kind of warps the paper, it does one funky stuff to it. And just as an aside, the cardstock that I am using, that I did all my mixed media on, is Basil Marshmallow cardstock, which is really, if I'm going to paint, well, not paint. If I'm going to paint, I'm going to use my hot press watercolor paper. But if I'm going to do mixed media, then the two papers I generally use are either the Vicki Boutin Foundations paper or Basil Marshmallow. But I had some scraps of Basil Marshmallow on my scrap desk that were just the right size for the card bases, so that's what I went with. So I'm just adding some really easy light houses, and then I'm adding some of these teacups because there was a puffy teacup on the puffy sticker sheet that said hello, and I thought that would be a really nice card sentiment. And I want to add a little something more to it. I'm kind of looking at this card and thinking it looks a little bit drab. So I'm going to do some of these borders from this one cut apart sheet, and I'm going to add them in and add them at the top and at the bottom. So I'm just going to cut out these little pieces and then cut them in half and kind of pop them in. And that helped a little bit, but I still felt like I wanted more. Like, I still felt like I wanted something extra, something a little bit more to finish it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my shimmers. This is the Glorious Days color, which is the color you want if you need a replacement for Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine. The other one I want to try is I do want to try Altenews Spray Ink. They have a gold color too, but for now, this is my go-to since I ran out of Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine. And so now we're going to start on our next card. So for this card, I have a white card base. I have a piece of Nina Craft cardstock, and then I'm going to put the smaller panel, the mixed media panel, on top of that. And I'm going to keep this one simple, a little simple, I think, and I think I used just stickers, actually. I really, really wanted to use this little piece that had the flowers on it. I felt like that flower would be really, really nice, but it didn't quite work. So instead, I'm going to use this super fun olive oil bottle sticker. And then I'm going to layer that up with another sticker from the sticker sheet. This, it's like a label sticker. And again, even the stickers are getting some vintage photo, which I think just adds to the loveliness of these cards. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to go into the puffy sticker sheet and pull out this thanks. There's just a puffy sticker. It's beautiful. It says thanks. And so that's the one I wanted to use. And I'm going to kind of like, I was very careful about where I put it because I really wanted it to like snuggle in there really nice. And then I don't think I add anything else. I think I just add some of the spray, the Glorious Days shimmers, splatters, and call this one good. I am just lining my card up because I want to make sure it's nice and straight and even. And then give it all a little bit more ink. And I'm going to put this one right down onto my card base before this one came up. I don't know why. It was like, it didn't want to stay down. It was odd. Adhesive wasn't real great on it, I guess. I think I end up just grabbing some glue and gluing it down. And I also trim up the foam a little bit because there was just this little black piece that was like totally sticking out. And because I had totally messed with it. So smush my fingers, pop on the card base, and we are good to go. And I assembled this card before I splattered it just so it was done. Like I didn't have to do anything else to it. It was all on the card base. It was ready to go. I could just splatter it, set it aside to dry, and that would be the end of it. It's a little more vintage photo distress ink, the Glorious Days spray, and that will finish up these cards. I want to give a huge, enormous shout out to all of my brand new subscribers. I adore when I come into my to upload a video and I see that we've had like a boost in our little YouTube club over here on my channel. So fun, so awesome. So thank you so much to all the new subscribers. Leave a comment below, say hi to me. I will reply as soon as I can. And yeah, I'm so happy you're all here. If you want to grab some of this iridescent glaze or the crayons, you can use my code, and there's a link to the shop down below. And here are all 4 of these cards I created using Auburn Lane products and that pretty mixed media backgrounds I made. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by today. Here are some close-ups for you to enjoy, and I will talk to you all again later.